Hey, what's up guys, I'm Jacob Kaufman, I'm there on the street, and today I am showing you how to install programs on Linux Mint. So Linux Mint comes with a lot of great programs by default, as you can see here, but a lot of times there are other programs you want to install that don't come with Linux Mint. And to install extra applications, you're going to want to open up the program called Software Manager. And if it's not in your favorites, you can just search Software Manager and it should be right there. And just open that up. Might take a minute to open. This program is included on both the Ubuntu and Debian editions of Linux Mint. It is maintained by the same people who maintain Linux Mint, so you can be sure that all of your stuff is stable and is all going to work. So as you can see, we've got right off the bat a bunch of different categories of software. You can also search, like if I search VLC, there's VLC, and I installed that already. I installed quite a few programs already. As you can see, you can search Java, and we've got OpenJDK is the version of Java that we're using. You can search like Chromium. Now Google Chrome is not in the Software Manager, but Chromium is, which is the open source implementation of Google Chrome. So you can use that if you're a Google Chrome person, and you can sign in with your Google account and stuff. It has all the same features of Google Chrome. Just updates through the Linux Mint Software Manager rather than updating through Google's repositories. One thing that I have not installed yet is the Opera web browser, and as you can see, if I go back to category view, I can click on Internet, and I've got a bunch of different Internet stuff. I've got like IM clients, as you can see there, but I don't really know anyone who uses IM anymore. We've got like torrent clients, YouTube downloader program. It's interesting. So we've got a bunch of different programs we can install. One of them is Opera. Now, unfortunately, Opera is not updated to the latest version in Linux. The people who make Opera left behind the Linux community at version 12. They're up to version 15 now. They have stopped supporting Linux. So I actually don't recommend you use Opera for day-to-day browsing, but for the purposes of this video, let's say I wanted to install Opera. So I am going to click install. It might ask me for my password. In that case, it did not. And as you can see at the bottom, we've got one ongoing actions, and it's a progress bar. You can just leave this here, or you can click on that if you want to, and it'll show you details about what it's doing. As you can see, we are currently downloading. Now we're preparing Opera, running post-installation stuff, configuring, and finally, as you can see, Opera is now installed, and we have the option to remove it. By the way, if you wait a second on these pages, you can see we've got screenshots on a lot of programs. Like if I go down to like FileZilla, that's a pretty popular thing if you use FTP stuff. And maybe it doesn't have, I don't know, a lot of programs have screenshots in this thing. So as you can see, now that I have installed Opera, I'm just going to X out of the Software Manager and go to my Start menu. If I search Opera, it is there, and I can open it. I can agree to the terms, and now I've got Opera on my computer. Like I said, Opera's not the greatest right now. Still on version 12 for the Linux community, so definitely not a great browser. But, you know, that's alright. If you want to use Opera, you can install that. Or like I said, you can use that same program. You can use the Linux Mint Software Manager for installing any of your favorite web browsers. You can use it to install like Office applications. LibreOffice, I think, came with this, but you've got like, you know, I think AbiWord, yeah, is in here. There, well, that's a plugin for AbiWord, but AbiWord itself is in here as well. You've got all kinds of programs. You know, just you can basically look through here, and kind of like the Mac App Store, Apple screens everything in the Mac App Store. Software Manager is a little bit different because you can add other places to this. I've equated this before. If you look at the Mac App Store as a store, you can look at this Linux Mint Software Center as like a shopping mall with lots of different stores in it. If you go up to Edit and click on Software Sources, we can see all of the different repositories. I've only added one extra repository, but you can add more repositories, more websites to download software from. But if you're sticking with the official repositories and you're only using the default things in Software Manager, and it's going to restart now because I just closed out of that, but if you're using the default repositories, then basically you can be assured that the people who maintain Linux Mint have looked at each and every one of the packages in here, or have contributed, or at least most of these packages are trusted. So obviously don't install stuff if you don't necessarily need it, but if you're just interested in something, like let's say I go into graphics, GIMP, Inkscape, and Blender are all installed already on my computer. We've got like Picasa you can install. And yeah, if you want to install something, or like Calibri I've used in the past, and if we go into there, then that's an ebook library thing, so you can install that if for some reason you want to manage ebooks on your computer. So that's basically the Linux version of iBooks. And as you can see, these screenshots just loaded up there, so we can get some screenshots of what Calibri looks like. But yeah, you can just scroll through. We got, you know, all kinds of different applications, and yeah, you can search for things. So if I were to search, like, let's say I need Blender, I can search Blender. Or even if I want like a video editor, if I type in video, if I can spell video editor, then it brings up some video editors that I can install. Now I'm actually going to install Gnome games because I really enjoy Gnome games. They used to come with a lot of Linux distributions, they don't anymore. But if I type in Gnome games, as you can see, games for the Gnome desktop, this is a collection of games, and I can install that. Also, there's one called KDE games that I also like. Let's see, KDE games. I'm not sure if I can install all the KDE games at once. Oh yeah, KDE games from the official KDE release. So the Gnome games and the KDE games I like. As you can see, you can install multiple things at once, and they won't actually install at the same time, but it will go into the queue. As soon as it's done installing Gnome games, it will install KDE games. And yeah, as soon as things are done installing, it might take a minute or two for it to appear in your start menu if it does not appear right away. That's happened for me. I've had to wait just like a few seconds for it to appear in the menu. But yeah, it should go in the menu pretty quickly after it's done installing. Now, while that's installing, I am going to show you how to install updates. Like I said, for Chromium and like the Linux version of Opera and pretty much everything in the default repositories, you are getting, that was odd. Let's see. Yeah, it worked. Sometimes I get errors saying that apt is already running in another program. I've only had that happen in the Debian edition of this, and so far it hasn't actually done anything. As you can see, like, the games that I have installed are still here. It did not actually stop me from installing anything, but yeah, it's odd. But yeah, if we go down to the bottom right of our screen, we see this little shield with a green checkbox in it, or a check mark. And sometimes there's either a red X or a blue exclamation point, and you can just click that, type in your password, and right now this is not going to work because I'm already installing software here, and you can only have software installations running in one program at once in Linux, just like you can only have one program installing at once in Windows. But yeah, as you can see, wait, what? Check your connection to the internet. What are you talking about? I think that it's doing weird stuff because I just opened up Update Manager, which you're not supposed to do while you're installing things. But yeah, as you can see, we can check for updates by clicking refresh, and it will download all of our package information from all our repositories. It will pull in the latest versions of everything, and it will tell you what you have installed that you need to update. And there are no updates available right now because I keep my system up to date, but it will list off your updates here. Just make sure they're all checked and click install updates, and that should be all you need to do. I'm going to try installing that one more time. See, it said I already had it all downloaded. It just skipped to 50% because it was done downloading it all already. Obviously we're not in KDE, but I should be able to install KDE games anyway. There we go, now it's installed. So yeah, like I said, the people at Linux Mint could really do a lot more to make sure that their software manager was a little less buggy, but it works, and it's pretty easy to use. Just, you know, be mindful of error messages, but usually they're not critical. So yeah, you can install any applications you want to from here. Like I said, like if you want Audacity, just search Audacity, and it's already there. If you want, like, I don't know, let's say you want Flash Player, you can search Flash Player, and we've got a Flash Player there. Flash plugin non-free is what you'd want to install. I think Flash comes with, or some sort of version of Flash comes with Linux Mint, but yeah, like I said, pretty much all the programs in here are safe to install. You shouldn't just go installing them for fun. You should know what you're installing, but yeah, you can just scroll through these, and if there's any programs you need, that's how you install them. So I hope that is helpful to you. If you have any questions about how to install or update programs, I'll try and catch a video sometime of updating things. Then yeah, please feel free to leave a comment on our website or a forum post on our forums on our website. For now, though, that's all I have to say. I'm Jacob Kaufman. I'm the Nerd of the Street, and I will see you guys later. See ya.